Hey guys, it's Maple, and welcome to this 1v1 ranked on Nesthorn between Kewlski, who is our green player on the upper left side, playing as the, Jason, which is a Lexi alternate for the striker, and Brushy playing as Santa, which is the Natasha alternate in the beta striker. Both players going striker, and both players seemingly opening up with Longhorn and Seekers. Brushy opening up with 2 Longhorn and 1 Seeker, and Kewlski, we have that little bit of a bug there, but he opened up with 2 Seekers instead, and more of a defensive style. Brushy probably won't be able to get anything done here. So yeah, Nesthorn is a pretty interesting map to actually play a 1v1 on. I wonder who chose it actually. I guess, I don't know, I would guess maybe Kewlski would choose it. I feel like, I don't know, you can't really guess that, but yeah, those double Seekers and Kewlski's own striker fire do take down Brushy. It'll slow his mid progress by a lot. He needs to be careful though, he's taking a lot of damage from the creeps, might actually die. Does survive. So the unit composition choice here for Brushy is 2 ratchets. Actually it's 2 ratchets each. Both players are going pretty defensively actually. Like this is the sort of thing that might happen on Nesthorn, is both players stack units on the side. No one goes for mid out of fear that like, the moment they do so, the other player will push and then take their outpost. So it's kind of like a standoff. Kewlski going to come in and try to shoot on these units, but there's going to be plenty of support. Those are actually a good number of ratchets by now. So Kewlski actually has the Repair Guardian, which is interesting, an interesting choice. The meta right now is the Blaster Guardian, which will get nerfed in the next patch when that actually happens. Brushy actually going to push mid. He has a good amount of Seekers, so he shouldn't have to worry too much about losing anything. So what is Kewlski's response going to be to this? Is he going to push directly, or is he going to actually go for mid? Looks like he's actually going to push and hit this. I guess you could say it's the forward outpost. Brushy going to go in for mid. You know, is he's not pushing away. Wait, what is he doing? I feel like he's kind of wasted time clearing the mid then if he was. Okay, now he is going to go in, but he doesn't realize that this push is actually coming. This will definitely get the outpost neutralized. Kewlski going to do a drop here. He does get stasis. Brushy going to be able to take out all those shooters. Kewlski might be able to get the neutralization, but I think he might actually go down here. He's losing health really fast. He does have the Repair Guardian, but there's the Tesla Tower. I know he does get Tesla Towered, and Tesla Towered, huh? Stasis? Although like you might confuse that stasis with the Neostasis or the stasis mode, but yeah, this green army is moving, and that's like 5 Longhorn, couple Seekers, and a couple Ratchets. I don't think it will be enough to get the kill. Brushy hasn't noticed it at all. He has like absolutely no units here. Like this actually might do quite a bit of damage. Like where like now he's just coming back, bringing those units. Gonna try to sword as much as he can. Don't want to go down. If he dies there, that could be absolutely disastrous. Kewlski really needs to shoot and support those units. He's getting a lot of damage done, but if he goes down here, this could be a problem. The Seeker, he needs to sword these. Oh, he does go down. Wait, both players go down, and this could be some of those 3 of these Longhorn are targeting the fort. So it looks like they will eventually get cleaned up here, I think, with the Tesla Tower and Brushy respawning. He's going to respawn much closer to his fort, obviously, since he's right at the fort. But this is a significant amount of damage dealt to Brushy, and the upkeep is actually even, although most of it is in shooters. A lot of it has been eating away at this blue army during this entire time. I think it was a very nice plan by Kewlski, a very strategic move to deploy those shooters while he's doing this extremely big and costly attack. While it looked good for Brushy, you know, he held it and destroyed the entirety of the army, he actually lost the majority of his during that time, giving Kewlski the upkeep advantage. Although he is going to go down here to that striker with the Blaster Guardian. But in the meantime, oh yeah, Brushy just does land and kill. Now the supply is exactly even. That's actually kind of hilarious. Supply has evened out. I think Kewlski did probably use the respawn credit cost thing. A bit of an inaccuracy. I feel like Kewlski probably could have timed that better and maybe gone to kill on Brushy. He still gets the kill even though he's at the fort. Why wasn't there enough energy? I feel like there should have been enough. There wasn't I didn't really see what happened there, but he actually does go down. That's actually pretty interesting. And we do have these shooters at mid, although Kewlski does need some sort of meat in his army. He needs Seekers, he needs Longhorn and Ratchets. Brushy going to be sending out these units, moving them towards this coast. He's making rebels, so looks like he actually wants to make a push on the fort, on this mid outpost. Brushy gonna take out a couple of shooters here. Shoot down a couple of creeps as well. We have one Seeker. Just one Seeker right now for Kewlski. Let's see, okay, we have, yeah, we have bot spawners for Brushy, so if it gets to the late game, he could do that. Both players also have Goliaths, which is pretty meta right now. But yeah, I think Brushy would probably have the advantage in the late game. Especially on a map like this where it's pretty linear. I guess you could only really do pushing. Like the creeps are absolutely only going to go in one location. Like it's pretty much going to be this mid location. They have to pass through. Brushy going to be dropping that Tesla tower and doing a bit of random stasis damage. Not going to be too much. Kewlski does spot the rebels and they're moving out now, which is probably a good decision because Kewlski is definitely going to respond to this push the moment he sees it. But these units are timed a bit poorly. I feel like the rebels, they are a bit late. This Tesla tower is going to get demolished. Though Kewlski was not actually supporting his units, he was bringing some out, and that gave Brushy a lot of time to get some damage in. He's going to level up, but these, yeah, it wasn't timed that well, but still a lot of damage was actually done. This outpost might go neutral here. And if that's the case, he might be able to still take control of this mid. Kewlski now landing and sorting. This Tesla tower and these two Longhorn actually not really helping the battle. They're getting kind of split off here. Kewlski and Brushy are ridiculously low on HP right now. He is continuing to make units. Brushy, is he going to try to get the kill here? He definitely can't land with that Tesla tower. But Brushy, I'm not sure if he actually had any Guardians during that time, but he is the one with the Repair Guardian, so maybe he was able to get a bit of heal. He's really low on HP though. He needs to get this neutralizer. He's dead. Looks like he'll die anyways. And oh, he just barely survives. He just barely survived, which is pretty interesting. He actually he's not using Beppo. But yeah, neither was Kewlski, so their airspeeds are probably roughly the same. The Tesla tower does go down. Oh, let's see. The upkeep is now in favor of Brushy, though a lot of it is in Rebels, which do go down pretty fast. Outpost is going to get neutralized. The Rebel does get picked off. I would like to see Kewlski do some drops or something, or maybe just. Does he have any? He doesn't actually have any Rebels or Dillos or anything like that. So it actually is going to be quite difficult for him to do a mobile push, or like a light push. He does have that Repair Guardian. He needs to stay still and get that repair off. I think Brushy, yeah, will give up here. It doesn't look like he can get that kill. And we do have two random like speak of the devil actually. This does cause him to be distracted for 1 second, giving Brushy the time to take that outpost. He does now have the upkeep and income advantage as long as he can hold that. Kewlski is actually going to do a drop. He does spot a couple of random Longhorn going around. I guess he's going to cancel that idea. Going to land at the front and shoot instead of the back. Probably a bit of a slight mistake, I guess. What is Brushy doing? He's bunkering creeps. I would like to see Kewlski use a sword there, but he does actually pick off one, which is nice. So the upkeep is still in favor of Brushy at this point. We don't see Kewlski is actually level 7 now, and so is Brushy. So we don't see any Goliaths being made just yet. I would like to see some making dual ratchets, I guess. Does land and neutralize these. Picks down a couple of these creeps. Brushy does try to get away, and he does. There's a lot of creep bunkering going on. Actually, that's actually kind of interesting. They're all really paranoid, but the bot spawners are now coming out for Brushy. He knows that he doesn't have to commit to any sort of push. He's the one with the upkeep advantage, and he has the tools he needs for an effective late game. He's got the bot spawners and the Goliaths. Not sure why is Kewlski randomly dropping creeps there. Yeah, so Brushy basically biding his time, investing in that late game. I feel like Kewlski is the one who needs to do something. He's the one who's on the clock right now. If Brushy gets a good amount of creeps and maybe some Goliaths later, it'll be really difficult for him to win in that late game when he has the upkeep disadvantage. So it looks like both players are basically just going around dropping free units. The creeps just going to try to neutralize outposts, maybe slow income by getting neutralizations for a second or two. Kewlski not going to be able to get the kill, but does save the outpost. We actually don't have that many units. Where are the Longhorn? He has units spread. Like, he has 10 Longhorn, but it doesn't look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a couple of them. Just it's kind of hard to see on Nesthorn, I guess. Okay, so we do have Goliaths being made for both players now. Brushy about to have his pop. Now using a Longhorn instead of creeps. Not really sure what he's planning to do with that. He might get. No, he does get away. Let's see. Does he have Afterburn? He does have Afterburn. We don't see Afterburn for Kewlski actually, but their levels have evened out. Kewlski going to be bunkering creeps once more. Brushy going to be coming back to neutralize them, I guess? Probably. He does spot a random Longhorn hiding in these bushes. Kewlski does pick up and save it. So yeah, we are basically at a slow point after Brushy does seem to solidify his mid control. I don't really see what the plan is for Kewlski at this point, because you can't. If he just lets Brushy obtain... Oh, he does go down, I think. Yeah, he will get killed. Nice move, I guess. Or a bit of an overcommitment, I guess, by Brushy just neutralizing creeps. But he does... There's nothing to bunker. You've already bunkered it completely. This is kind of strange. Like, I would really like to see Kewlski do something. Like, he just killed Brushy. Like, maybe he could land, shoot, try to pick something off. I feel like he's playing... way more defensively than he should at this point in the game, because he's not the one with the upkeep control. He's not the one who has the income advantage in map control. If this just continues, then he's going to be the one that falls behind. So he really needs to do something. Like, he has Berthas. I would like to see him make Berthas or something. Like at least make some sort of effort to attack. We do have triple blaster guardians for Brushy. He's going to have a very good amount of damage. Both players being extremely defensive. Brushy going to be continuing to add on those bot spawners. What level creeps are these? I guess they're like level 2. I think they're level 2. I can't really tell. Maybe they're level 3. I guess they're level 2. We have... Okay, a crap ton of ratchets being made for Kewlski. Maybe he's actually going to do a push, which I would not really recommend. Like, seeing as there's so much stuff here and there's going to be bot spawners momentarily popping onto the field with those creeps. A rebel being dropped, creeps being neutralized. Brushy going to get out of there. Okay, she probably should leave. I feel like he's taking a bit too much damage. But he does manage to get out of there alive. There is this one rebel shooting. I guess at this point, Brushy, I mean, he's pretty much maxed out as well. And at this point, I feel like Kewlski is going to have a lot of trouble here coming back from this. Wait, is he gonna ferry manually like all these units? I don't think he has to do that. He definitely has more than enough units, I feel. Like, he has the upkeep advantage. He should be able to win this. I have no idea what is he doing here. Okay, looks like maybe he just wants to do a bit of damage. Like, these are basically the decoys. It's a pretty expensive decoy, but I guess he does have a pretty solid bank. Or maybe he just wants to neutralize this outpost as well. Going to lose all his energy instantly, but does buy a bit of time. He's really low on HP. He needs to hide and just probably just try to survive until... Okay, he's going to be recharging. He doesn't actually have the blaster guardians, but at the same time, this rebel is still here doing like minuscule amounts of damage. Brushy does manage to evacuate one of those Goliaths, but this push is going to get this outpost neutralized at some point. But Brushy's really low on HP, does go down. It looks like Kewlski is going to be able to pick off both of these guys, which is a pretty huge win. He actually does not have the money to replace both of them immediately. He's going to take out both of these Goliaths, but this push is on the way. Those two Goliaths have basically accomplished their purpose to distract. This push basically was just a huge distraction for this army to neutralize this outpost. And this is the power station. This is where the majority of Kewlski's upkeep is, and if he loses that, he will find it basically impossible to actually make an army that is ever going to be capable of fighting his directly. He needs to get out of there. He's taking way too much damage there. And the secret missiles. Okay, he is going to survive by landing in his army. He does have the repair guardians, right? He does have one repair guardian. But this rebel has been He's been doing damage really slowly for a very long time though. Okay, these green units are actually getting split off at a pretty poor position. They're going to take massive amounts of damage. Goliaths and Ratchet's not here to support. These green units are going to get picked off. Kewlski not going to use command mode V-Path. He's just going to try to drop these units back. I don't think it'll be in time though. Okay, Brushy looking for an outpost to neutralize. He needs to reinforce from someplace closer than mid. He is going to be able to get this outpost. Kewlski trying to bring in his units. He actually might be able to hold this. I think he is. Brushy is not really supporting his units, and yeah, the level 4 creeps are out with defender's advantage. Kewlski might be able to pull off a hold here. I really feel like Brushy should be doing something to support this mid. I mean, this fight, but he's here a bit too late. He might even just die here and not really accomplish anything. But he does have that outpost and does survive. So now, basically, Kewlski, he manages to hold, but he needs to immediately push because, I mean, he basically has almost no map control, I guess. Wait, actually, no, he actually managed to keep this outpost. So, yeah, actually, Brushy is the one who's kind of behind at this point. But he still does have the bot spawners, so he still has a pretty good chance, I think, of coming back from this. Kewlski doesn't, he can't go down. Okay, looks like he'll be fine. Brushy overextending, I feel, and actually he does go down. Do have to be careful with those blaster gardens. Blaster gardens do drain energy. They are very strong, but they do drain that energy pretty quickly, so you have to be careful with how, I guess that's pretty much the case for any Guardian. Well, just for Repair and Blaster. They both drain your energy. You have to be careful with how long you're in the field. Kewlski going to be bunkering now with these creeps, with the level 4 creeps. Brushy going to land, use those missiles, and knock down this outpost. I feel like, what can Brushy really do at this point? I mean, he does have the bot spawner, so maybe he should just try to land and maybe press this outpost a bit. Because Kewlski is now the one with the upkeep advantage, but he's making Tesla Tower. Not really sure why. I guess he wants to play defensive again and just... Yeah, I guess it's like the safe way to play. I mean, if you have the maximum upkeep advantage, you basically just want to reach that maximum upkeep so you have a definitive advantage over your opponent. And basically you'll just have a pretty good chance of winning, I guess. So I guess the plan for him is probably just to master up Goliaths at this point. Do you have Kewlski, who has finally discovered these bot spawners? He will get all 3 of them on this side. Probably is going to swing into the fort and pick off some as well. Yeah, it looks like both players were harassing, but it looks like Kewlski is going to get the better end of it. Probably needs to get out here. Does he have Afterburner? He doesn't have Afterburner, but yeah, Brushy not going to be able to pursue, runs out of energy. Even if he did use Afterburn, he probably would have run out of energy before he could have gotten the kill anyways. We still see Kewlski dropping. I have no idea what, like, he's already bunkered them so much. Why is he still trying to bunker? I feel like this is a bit of overkill. Like, both of these outposts are already pretty heavily defended. Like, there's no way he could actually take this outpost with that many units there. Maybe he's going to just do a like, maybe this is a good idea. Yeah, I think this is a good idea at this point. As long as he doesn't die. I mean, he's completely maxed out in upkeep. But he can probably just keep on doing these drops. Unfortunately, these Longhorns only get like 1 shot in because of this tree in the mountains blocking it off. Was that always there? Like, no, I feel like I don't know. Like, it's kind of strange how he actually didn't manage to get any damage there. But the bot spawners being remade for Brushy. A couple of Longhorn going to be dropped. Kewlski is probably just going to suicide here and see what damage can get done. But no, he is going to leave. Does get out there with his life. Sacrifices these 2 Longhorns. Maybe gets a couple of shots off. But yeah, he basically has all the money he needs. Wait, he's not leaving yet. He actually stayed and fought for some reason. I have no idea why. That's actually kind of a risk, and he does pay the price. Not really sure what was the point of that, but Brushy may be going to use this time to transfer rather, all these units to this side. Might be able to just get a push and kill him directly because a lot of his units are spread out. Might not be able to rally all of them in time. This is a pretty big event split though, and I mean, like, if this doesn't work, he risks Kewlski pushing immediately. And this actually might not work. He doesn't actually rally this Goliath back. With the level 4 creeps coming in for the distraction. But he does land and distract these greens himself. Does get a massive amount of damage on those lighter armor units. But Kewlski does look like he'll have enough for the defense, as long as he rallies those units back. And those creeps also helping out, giving free damage. He might be able to get a couple shots off here, but I don't think it's going to be enough to kill. What should Brushy actually do at this point? Like, this push is obviously not going to do the job, so he needs to start thinking about what happens after this. Does land, get as much damage as he can. He's probably just going to go down as well here. Yeah, he's definitely going to go down. But he does actually get more damage than expected with his mech, doing as much as he possibly could there. And Kewlski absolutely has to push at this point. Now is not the time to be bunkering creeps and defending. Like, if you let him... Like, you have a massive upkeep lead at this point. If you let him get an advantage again, like, that would just be a missed opportunity, I feel. So what's Brushy going to do? Is he going to continue to drop, or is he going to try to pick something off? Or, let's see, just flying around trying to see what Kewlski is up to. So is Kewlski going to push? Doesn't actually seem like it. Okay, he's going to take... Okay, he's going to do this drop thing. He's going to have this Goliath moving back in reserve, I guess. He's going to have Brushy take care of this. At least that was the plan, but he runs out of energy with those triple repair guardians. Okay, he is back. But he takes a direct shot, and he looks like he's going to die here, it actually seems. He's going to run out of energy. And Brushy, using the afterburn, pursuing him, does take him down. But in the meantime, this drop was actually pretty successful. I guess you could call it pretty successful. I mean, he managed to get one shot off. I mean, it is a Goliath shot, so we're like, instead of a Longhorn shot, so we're seeing improvement in that regard. But the upkeep is still in favor of Kewlski, but it's about to even out here. Brushy going to be dropping a Goliath to neutralize the outpost. It might not even get the job done, actually. There's actually, like, even if Kewlski wasn't here, like, I feel like there was probably too many level 4 creeps for one Goliath to actually handle. He does manage to save it. Not really sure what was Brushy doing, like, during that time. Was he able to shoot anything? I don't see any green debris. But yeah, Kewlski still maxed out on HP on upkeep. Has he even made any pushes this game? I think he just did the initial one that actually brought the fort to this health. But besides that, there hasn't been any pushing by him. Okay, he's rebuilding one Longhorn. I guess he's going to do a drop. But he's going to take creeps instead. I'm actually a bit surprised that no one's actually going for fort. I feel like Kewlski, if I were in Kewlski's position, I'd probably try to do some fort damage at this point. Like, maybe just take 2 Longhorn and set them on Y, and then, like, grab 1 Longhorn afterburn to this location, and then just... Although, I think he would probably run out of energy at this point. He does have the Repair Guardian instead of Energy Guardian, or Blaster Guardian, so I guess he would have to constantly bleed out energy as he takes damage. So it might not be a viable option for him, I guess. But, like, I still feel like he should do something, because he's completely maxed out on upkeep and credits. And every second that goes by is a bad one for him, as Brushy is going to have the upkeep and income. He's going to have more units momentarily. But this is going to catch Brushy by surprise, actually. This is going to be a lot of damage here. This is critical damage. He cannot actually afford to take it. I'm really surprised that Kewlski is not actually shooting at the fort, but he does get the bot spawners. I feel like neither player can really afford to play defensively at this point. Brushy can't play too defensively here because his HP is too low, so if he waits too long, Kewlski might just be able to get the finish with the drop. But Kewlski probably can't let Brushy acquire any more upkeep that he already has, because he's just maybe 1 or 2 lives away from achieving complete upkeep cap. Looks like we are going to see more of a drop from Kewlski. Brushy trying to fly around. He's trying to see where Kewlski is, but he's already missed him, and now he does spot. He's flying back with the afterburner, but isn't going to be in time. It's getting the critical damage on the sides, but it looks like Kewlski does leave. Lives to fight another day, lives to drop another day. Manages to shut down, Brushy manages to shut down those units, but he does take like 4, maybe 6 Longhorn volleys, but that isn't, okay, looks like he's actually going to make a massive amount of units and then just kind of drop them while they're pushing. But Brushy is being ridiculously defensive right now. He knows that he cannot take another drop. But like, even if he manages to defend, like what can he do? I feel like he needs to drop himself or do something if he has any intention of winning the game. At this point, like, he has the upkeep advantage, he has the income advantage. I would really like to see him to just maybe drop one Longhorn or two. Okay, he does actually send the entirety of it pushing. At this point now, he just needs to defend. If he can defend, then I guess, yeah, he does have the upkeep advantage, so he should be able to win as long as he can just defend and have these blue units move across the map. Is Kewlski going to defend or attack at this point? I feel like if I were him, I would just attack. Because, like, all he needs is one good drop. This decoy is actually working. These Goliath decoys actually have been working pretty well for Kewlski this entire game. He's not actually setting on Y, he's setting on T. Is that the reason why they shot? Yeah, I think that's the reason why they moved and shot the rock earlier. But this might just be the finish here. No, Brushy is going to land body block. He probably can't body block another shot though. Is he gonna, okay, just barely survives. One more volley probably would have taken him out. But he absolutely needs to push now. Like, oh, this blue army is so slow. He needs to do something. He is going to shut down this green force, but that's a consolation prize that he does not really want right now. His HP is just so low. He just needs to sit here and like I think that's what he needs to do. He needs to sit here and just defend, but he can't afford to let this push fail either. I don't think he can really wait long, and he probably can't survive long enough to replace this army if it completely falls. It does look like he'll be pretty successful with this push though. We'd like to see him land and do something. Oh, he actually manages to get Kewlski as he's trying to micro his units, but that's a nice kill. And Kewlski is going to lose control of this outpost completely. We see one ratchet here, so like this blue army it has some healing capabilities. But yeah, Brushy going to secure a much needed outpost at this point, because it's pretty much guaranteed at this point that Kewlski, as soon as he comes out, he's going to drop. Because like, what else can he do? Like, why fight the direct battle when you can drop? Brushy knows it. Brushy knows that he's going to push, that he's going to drop. He sees him on his minimap. Now the question is, can he block it? And he block it. He shoots him, and he gets him. But one shot does go down. One very small but very critical shot at this point does land the fort. Okay, what does he do now? Like, because Kewlski is going to have like 8 seconds to respond, he needs to do something. He really needs to do something with his time. Is he going to drop or make a push? He might be able to get the finish though. Like, I don't think they would be able to win like a direct battle, but if it's just maybe 40% of his health, he might be able to kill him. Although I feel like he might actually have to be there, so. But that's probably his only choice at this point. He can't afford to let Kewlski keep on pushing, as at some point he's going to miss. He just ran out of energy and he shoots him down again, but oh, this Goliath shot, he needs to block it. He does take one Goliath shot. Oh, that's actually pretty critical at this point. He does body block it and take that Goliath down, but this push, it's not even on Y, it's on T. Brushy playing with fire here. I thought for sure he would go for the Y push, but he's actually just going to send it on T. At this point, it basically reduces Kewlski's options to only drop. Like, with this outpost going down, he can never ever actually do another direct engagement again. He's gonna try to take him down. He just get him, and that's brilliant. Like, I think he actually just won this game, because now he's in complete domination. He has complete control. He should be able to push and win at this point. Like, if he as long as he doesn't mess up and let Kewlski get past him, he should be able to win. But this is so little damage. Like, this game is actually not kind of over. If Kewlski just ditches it and afterburns completely without picking up any units, I feel like he might be able to win. But now is Brushy's moment to push, I feel like. Or he can just try to play defensive. Like, that does risk. But he does get spotted, I feel like. Yeah, he does. If I were him, I would just ditch the Longhorn. Like, if you afterburn over there as a striker, you should be able to make it. But you know he's going to carry those Longhorn. And, like, it's not going to work. He just have to drop them away. But with domination damage coming down, all Brushy needs to do is hold on here. He might actually be able to push, I feel. Yeah, even if he pushes and loses everything, the domination damage, it would have bought enough time for the domination damage to do critical damage. Kewlski absolutely needs to do a drop right the hell now, and Brushy needs to prevent this from happening. He gets past him, but can he do enough damage? Oh, this is so close. He needs to land and shoot something, but Kewlski does go down, and that's going to be it. He failed to get the final shot and died to those Seekers. I feel like he should not have carried the Longhorn. Oh no. He was so close to winning. If he had just afterburned, like with that repair gun, I'm pretty sure he could have been able to missile that fort and just shoot it down himself with the striker. But that was a pretty good game at the end. Brushy now celebrating, or is this? Yeah, I think this is bugged. This is probably bugged. No reasonable player would actually do this, but that was a pretty good game. Would like to thank LeAssassin for sending in this game at this dark period of Airmech's history, where seemingly nothing is happening. But yeah, this was a pretty good game. Well played by both sides. Brushy coming in with this win on Nesthorn, which is a pretty interesting map choice. But yeah, this was a pretty good game, although it was a tad stale in the middle of it. But that pressure on the fort, that emphasis on it, was actually pretty cool. It was nice to see both players going for the forts. Brushy holding on to let domination damage finish that game for him, playing very defensively and risk-free. But yeah, that was a pretty good game, and thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.